Hi guys, and welcome to the Stephen King Sematary Club. Okay guys, we are talking about Needful things, and this is the only copy I own because I don't like it. I've only read it once. Now I'm at 1.5 times. I bought this in December of 2000. I don't like the history of Castle Rock nearly as much as I like Jerusalem's Lot or Derry. It's never going to be my favorite. I don't find the town to be very interesting. I don't find the town's people to be very interesting. In fact, I think a lot of them are annoying. And it starts even with the introduction. You know, there's a person who's telling us the town gossip, catching us up on all the Castle Rock minutia. The person is overeager, breathlessly chatty, and just, it does not appeal to me. It does not appeal to me at all. Quickly mentioned are Frank Dodd from The Dead Zone, Cujo from Cujo, and Pop Merrill from Sundog. And I don't mind any of those stories. I like those stories. But there's just something about a 700-page book when Alan Pangborn is the only person that I really care about. Oh, and Thad Beaumont, Dark Half. That's also Castle Rock. And like I said, I enjoy all those books, but something about this one, it's too much of the stuff that I don't care about, and I don't think it's a Tommyknocker situation or a Misery situation where it would work better if it was cut down. I just do not love it. I can somewhat appreciate Leland Gaunt as a villain, but he's just some chaos demon whose eyes change color and he pits people against one another. I do like the concept that Leland Gaunt can see into your soul and know what thing you need, your needful thing. And then he's willing to deal with you in terms of you put in very little monetary effort, but you have to do something in trade for him. And what he does is I think he described it as an electrical grid where he, couples wires and then makes sparks fly between these two connections. I think of it more of a spider web where there are certain people connected by certain events and he plays everyone off of one another. So the intricacy I appreciate. There's a big religious aspect to this where they have half the town is part of the church that's going to have a casino night, and then the other half of the town is part of the church that thinks that's an abomination and should not be allowed. Gambling is evil, and that's coming to a head. That's going to be a big thing because it's the entire town divided in two, basically. So that angle also it's obvious that's going to happen, but also it's not. Like, I'm looking forward to revisiting that. We have typical crooked politician who is embezzling from the town coffers and is about to be caught. So he's making deals with Leland Gaunt and is now winning money at horse racing, which is what originally got him into the financial trouble that he's in now. And I think part of it is it plays on the small town gossip. Instead of talking things out, people just make assumptions and stay out of the business but still feed the gossip and perpetuate things, and it just creates an environment where simple things can't be fixed. Like, I think the biggest thing in part 1 is that Nettie Cobb has a dog that caused some problems with a neighbor, Wilma Jerzik. And they got into a spat over the dog barking, and it's turned into a thing. Nettie killed her husband a long time ago. He abused her, and finally she just had enough, and she stabbed him. She spent time in Juniper Hill, which is in a lot of Stephen King books, Juniper Hill, the mental institution. And Wilma has run-ins with tons of townspeople. She is aggressive, and she is someone who picks fights with a lot of different people and has complaints made against her. She makes a lot of complaints in general. So Leland Gaunt pits these two against each other because of the dog situation. And what ends up happening is a man stabs Nettie's dog, Raider, with a note that makes it look like Wilma's the one who did it. And then on the other side of things, this kid, Brian, who wanted a baseball card, a Sandy Koufax baseball card, he ruins Wilma's sheets with mud, and then later he throws a whole bunch of rocks into her house. Wilma and Nettie each think that the other has done this, and it's escalated, and they meet each other with a carving knife and a meat cleaver, and they fight to the death out of nowhere and kill each other. It's one of those things that could be avoided given the right circumstances, but instead things are just drawn to their inevitable crazy conclusion and people die. Alan's new love interest, Polly, hits this nail on the head. Quote, "People around here will answer questions if you know what questions to ask. If you don't, they'll cheerfully watch you stumble around in great big circles and never say a word." Page 132. So that is true. It's the whole, we'll gossip about people and we won't be forthcoming with information unless the right people ask the right things. So it is interesting that Gaunt is kind of setting everyone up like a chessboard, and he is manipulating everyone and getting them to play so-called pranks on one another in exchange for their little trinkets that actually mean absolutely nothing to most of us. But to them, it's something very important and visceral and has deep meaning, and so they will do almost anything to keep these items. I do find Alan's story to be the most compelling part of the book. So after the Thad Beaumont / George Stark incident, I guess Thad would call up Alan quite a bit, and they'd talk, and Thad was just falling apart. And Alan was paying a lot of attention to Thad. He was distracted. He was disturbed by all the things he had seen. He kind of was going on autopilot in his marriage, and he didn't notice that his wife, Annie, was taking a lot of aspirin. She had a lot of headaches. It ended up being a brain tumor. She had a car accident with their son, their youngest son, Todd. But the two of them got into a car accident and died. And Alan blames himself for not paying attention as much as he should have, and he should have been more confrontational with her. He did ask her about the aspirin, but she explained it away. He's dealing with a lot of grief and anger. To me, his story is the most interesting. I have a really hard time caring about anyone in this book other than Alan, and to an extent I would say Polly, because she has arthritis. Her mix-in with Leland Gaunt is actually not to have a possession, but to eliminate her pain. Hers is a more understandable situation to me. Gaunt does give Polly a necklace that has an Egyptian, not really a talisman, but a charm on it, which is supposed to relieve pain if you're wearing it, which is very reminiscent of Rosemary's Baby, because Minnie gave Rosemary the charm that has the Tanis root in it. Chaos demon Leland Gaunt is kind of like witch Minnie Castevet, and Gaunt tells Polly that she has to wear this charm consistently, otherwise it won't work. He says if you take it off, the benefits will immediately go away, and you'll have like a deficit, so you'll have to wear it even longer to get back to the point where you took it off. So it's not even that you're going to start over, you're going to start further behind, because now for some reason you're immune to it until you've worn it longer. I don't know. She doesn't want to possess something. She doesn't want a trinket. She wants to get rid of something that is affecting her daily life, ruining her daily life. So I can understand Polly a little more, give her a little more leeway. So that's really all I've got to say about part 1. We'll do part 2 in another video. I feel like this is a book that I should like, but I don't. And I'm never gonna like it. I'm never gonna like it.